does.
Hey guys, and welcome back to NsomniaksDream. Today's look is my interpretation of a dark fairy. It has been far too long in my books since I've done a fae-inspired look, so I had to do another. The star freckling for this was inspired by an artist named Kinney and their amazing watercolor painting, which I will link to below in case you're interested in seeing it. I will have details for everything I used and that you see in this video down below, but if you want to see how to turn yourself into this star-struck fairy for Halloween, just keep watching. I at first had already thrown on some skincare, but then I also like to just prep my face with a makeup primer, so I just used the Hydrating base from Makeup Forever. And then going in with the Clown White, or Color White, from Makeup Forever as well, I just used a stippling brush. This is the Moda stippling brush, I believe. And I use this to apply a pretty even layer all over my face and neck and shoulders. And then for areas where I did just want to pack on the white a bit more, I did take a sponge and just pat that color on. I usually do this to the high points of the face, such as under the eyes, the nose bridge, and the forehead. And then when I had a pretty opaque finish, I went ahead and set everything with a neutral set powder and just used a big fluffy brush to pat this on everywhere. I do like to use patting motions for powder just because I don't want to accidentally lift up any of the cream product that I've already laid down. Then to start building up the area where I want to add all of the star freckling, I just used a mix of different lavender shades and pinks that I had. This first one being from the Sugarpill palette, then moving on to a Makeup Forever shadow, mainly just a slightly more opaque lavender with a bit of shimmer. And then using a blush as well as a darker pink, I just built this up and focused it towards the very center of my face and over my nose bridge. By the time you get to the darkest shade, you should be kind of right in the very center of your face and not really going near the sides of your cheeks anymore. And if you want, you can pull it up a little bit towards your forehead just for a bit of extra definition. Then just continuing with that exact same dark pink, I started building up the shape for my eyes. To do this, I started in my crease and laid this color down and pulled it out in a little bit of a V shape on the outer wing. I then also carried this color just underneath my eyes and blended it out with the exact same fluffy brush, before jumping to a matte white eyeshadow and using this shade to just highlight the inner corner as well as the brow bone, but then also soften the pink around all of the edges. For the eyelid itself, I just took a deep purple color and packed this on all over my lid by patting it down with the brush, and then just blending it up into the pink into the crease, but not going too much higher. I also carried the shadow a little bit underneath the eye where I had first laid down the pink just to deepen the eye shape entirely. And then to add a little bit of shimmer to the eye, I did take a prismatic shadow that has a pink-purple shift to it and applied this all over where I just put down the purple. That way it gets a little bit of reflect whenever you move. And then just because I wanted the eyes to be a little bit darker, I did take a really deep purple shade from the same Makeup Forever palette I used the lavender from and just added this to the outer corners of the eyes to give a really more of a smoky effect to the eyes. I used NYX's Epic Ink Liner just to line my eyes in a cat eye wing shape. And then I took the same pink shadows I'd used before and used this to just fill in my brows. You can do whatever brow shape you are comfortable with. I just went for my regular, normal shape. Rather unexciting, really. But speaking of exciting, we are now moving on to making the stars. So for this, I am taking a 000 liner brush, since sometimes you guys ask me what are my really tiny detail brushes. They are usually anywhere from a 0 to a 000 art liner brush, and I've usually got all of mine from an art store or online. But if you are having trouble finding those, nail art brushes tend to be thin as well, so those are a good alternate. To paint on the stars, I am just using the Wolf Water Activated White Face Paint, and I like to hand draw on the stars. This kind of harks back to when I was in high school. I used to always draw stars beside my eyes with liquid liner. To paint them, I start with a center point and then flick outwards in 5 different directions to create the stars, and then I fill them in if I want them to become thicker. If you're not feeling this method, what you can always do is go ahead and find some star stickers and apply them down before you put all of your shadows, like your lavenders and pinks. That way, what you can do afterwards is just peel the stickers off and you will be left with a white shadowed star from when you put the cream white down before. I, of course, also added some dotting for the freckled look, focusing them all towards the center of the nose bridge. And then for my lips, I just took the Liquid Suede lipstick in Alien, which is just the black liquid lipstick, and applied this all over my lips. And then to top it, I did take a bit of a duochrome highlighter just to give a little bit of shine, and then added the Cosmic Lip Metal in purple on top. Moving on to the neck and chest, you could continue on with the same powders you used on the face. I just wanted to cover more ground a little bit faster, so I used these Makeup Forever color sticks. one in a coral pink tone and then one in purple, and just applied these down and blended them out with the exact same stipple brush I had used to apply the white. I did kind of focus the colors in areas where you would usually highlight or define your bone and muscle structure along your neck, using the purple to kind of act as shading and the pink just to act as an overall color, but you could just apply this however you like. The nice thing about using cream products here on top of the cream white that has already been laid down is that they blend together really easily, so you don't need much effort to get the soft gradient that you want from the shades. And then in the exact same way that I did with the freckling along my face, I added some stars and dots along my neck. Again, kind of focusing them towards the center and having them meet in almost a V shape at the bottom/top of my collarbone. And as I usually say with any detailing that I carry from the face to the neck, you can go ahead and make the stars and dots larger since you are covering a bigger surface area. For the next part, I did just throw on a wig cap since I'll need it for the end of the look anyways, and I want my hair out of my face. And then I got to use something I've been dying to try for a while, which are these 3D glitter paints, mainly because they remind me of those 3D puff paints always used in arts and crafts. And the idea for this is that the tip that comes with it mixes the solutions together, so you can apply the paint with the syringe, and it will actually sit up on your skin and dry down completely. It actually dries really similar to 3rd degree silicone, so it's super easy to remove afterwards, which I was definitely happy about because usually glitter is kind of that thing that gets on absolutely everything and is there for months after you've used it, but not with this. So as you can see, I just used it to apply some fairy swirls along my cheeks and neck and just had fun with it and didn't really care how symmetrical it was. Who needs that stress, right? And once I was happy with all of that, it was time to throw on the wig and contacts and then throw on some lashes just to help bring the look together a little bit. And then something I've been dying to incorporate into a look since I bought it at Fan Expo in September is this wire crown and my elf ears, which I've had for a while, both from the same maker, so I will link her down below if you want to get your own. I'm kind of obsessed with all of her work and have bought way too many things, and I probably will buy more. The wig is from Powder Room D, the contacts are from Camo Eyes, and I think that's everything I'm wearing, so I think I have told you what you need to complete the look. Yes? Yes. Great. Also, everything's in the description in case I'm being forgetful. But that is it for my dark fairy makeup look. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it gave you some ideas for your own either Halloween costumes or just your own projects. If you did enjoy this video, I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on it in the comments down below, as well as maybe join the NsomniaksDream family by hitting that subscribe button if you are new here. I definitely had a ton of fun creating this look for you and feeling magical while doing it, so I hope you guys enjoyed. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I of course will see you next video, so until then, bye guys!